That's interesting, but it's interesting. Do you remember where it was? Still same step. I can do it many different ways.
Savion Glover, you are in Detroit, so I have to ask your Detroit story. Everybody has a Detroit story. What do you like about Detroit? What have you done while you've been here? Give us a little something.
Oh, man. Well, I have family here. I immediately think about my family here.
Really?
And yeah, you know, Detroit, man, you know, I've been here for a couple of festivals. I've had some life-changing experiences here through relationships. Detroit, yeah, it's monumental.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we're doing here at the Detroit School of Arts. What are you teaching? Who are you teaching it to?
I
Here at
am
DSA.
right now under the honorable service of a group from the local area and then surrounding. Tap dancers, all ages. I think maybe the youngest is possibly 10, and then the oldest being as old as I am. I was saying yesterday, it is my proud privilege to be at a point in my life where I can say I'm here in support of the present movement, in support of the present energy. I'm here beyond the entertainer. I'm here beyond the celebrity. So I'm here for the Carr Center, and I'm here for everything that the Carr Center is about. This particular day happens to be our sessions, our tap sessions before the performance. And again, I'm just, you know, the teaching is sharing. Tap dancing is my life. So at this point, my teachings are that of ways to live, life lessons that I have been afforded the wonderful opportunity to learn and then act upon. So I'm just sharing those little, I guess, tools and antidotes.
So I was in the hallway, and my daughter is a dancer,
Okay.
and I saw one of her friends who has the opportunity to be in this class, and she said that there was, you know, a lot of talking, and you were telling them to be themselves.
Yeah.
The message, what is, you know, just give us some of the messages that you shared with the kids. How do you be yourself as a dancer? How do you bring that into art?
Well, it's like I said, again, I understand the climate of this world right now. I understand I understand what I know to be true. And again, it's just my proud privilege to take advantage of my time with people who are responsible for our tomorrow. And a lot of the young thinkers in here are responsible. So tap dance becomes the vehicle, you know, but the message is not only be a great tap dancer, but be present today. Be yourself. Know how to express yourself today in this climate, in this now. Be a voice. I don't care if you're 5 or 7 or 50. Exist. And if it takes a tap class for us to be reminded that, oh, it's important that I say something. It's important that I recognize that I got to move too in the climate of this today. So I'm happy to do that through tap dancing. Express yourself, not only as a tap dancer, but as a human being.
So I think there are a lot of people who, like me, obviously remember you as that little kid dancing with Gregory Hines and Sammy Davis Jr. And now, you know, you've grown up in the art and you're teaching. Talk about what it takes to become that seasoned veteran in tap, in dance. You know, what's that key to longevity?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that tap dancing, as far as longevity, the longevity is life. I don't, you know, just live life as far as that part of the question. But, you know, it's similar to some of the things I'm sharing with the students, you know. My life, this is my life, really.
But everybody can't last as long in the game, right?
Well, everybody
you won
can't
a
last
Tony.
here.
You won a Tony, and you
But,
still
yeah.
do this every day.
Yeah, because I have to live. Like you, and those of us who are continue to do so have a chance to enjoy my experience here. I am what you see. I'm not what you see. I am it. So, as I am trapped in this now, my voice is my job, and my job happens to be a celebrity. But really, my life is in there, which is tap dancing. And I have a relationship with tap dancing that has nothing to do with anything else. So it's curious to figure out this now and this presence, and then why, you know, the teaching. You know, why I feel that, again, it's necessary for me to, as a tap dancer, of course, you know, it's all one. As I'm passing on this information through tap dancing, I'm also passing along the importance of information. You know, as I tell these children about Lon Chaney and Chuck Green and Jimmy Slide and Gregory Hines and all of these great contributors, there's also something else there. You know, I mean, I don't know what it is. Sometimes I do. But I know that it's not just simply because it's going to allow them to be a better tap dancer.
Well, tell me this. What do you see as the place for tap in American culture now? Because I ask that because, you know, it appears to me as a dance mom that, you know, you have this show, oh, so you think you can dance, and you have Tapology, which is a big festival here in Michigan the kids all go to, and, you know, you have these competitions. Kids, it seems to me that tap is more part of pop culture. You tell me, do you feel that tap is not so much, you know, the, respectable art form and something that, you know, was more esoteric, but now pop culture? What do you think?
Yeah. It's interesting topic. It's interesting topic, and again, the short version is, it's all about your relationship with whatever this thing is that we are doing. You know, the relationship brings politics, and then politics brings judgment, and then judgment brings, right and wrong, and rule and law, and then this guy. So.
But do you think it's more pop culture-ish to tap dance now than it used to be?
Again, me being a tap dancer, you know, I can say I came up as a tap dancer in the early, late 70s and then early 80s on. So the climate was, again, different. There was, in my surroundings, in my environment, my mother exposed us to the stuff. the culture. My mother, you know,
The arts.
yeah, the arts and whatever I need to be responsible for as a human being existing under her watch. She made us aware of that. So there was music in my home. My mother's a singer. My grandmother, a minister of music. My great-grandfather played piano all around the world. My grandfather on my mother's, my mother's father played piano. So the music was always in my house. So I was always aware of this thing that maybe had been a dying art form, which was tap dancing. It was in the culture. It was a part of something we did. It was a part of something we knew about. Did I know about the Cats? No, I didn't know about a Jimmy Slide or Lon Chaney until later on. But sticking to your point, like as far as the popularity of it, well, it was always popular in my life. But next door, they probably had no interest in it until probably 30 years later. And now a show like one of these shows that you mentioned is on, and they see, oh, tap dancing is alive again. But meanwhile, it's been next door. It's been right next door. There hasn't just been the interest. So it's always about what's, again, popular. It depends on who's talking about it.
There you go. Well, let's talk
But
about.
I will say, and I'm glad, not to cut you off.
No,
but
okay.
I will say that I am with you if I heard that you agree that this art form should be one of those that is more sacred in its preserve. Not everyone, not everywhere, not for any reason should it be available.
It's not for everybody. Everybody can't do it right?
Yeah, you know, but not only right, it's not about right or wrong, but it's just, you ain't doing that. That ain't in you.
Right. So, but let's talk about why you are here. For those of us who weren't able to see you at the Car Center in a percussion conversation.
Yeah.
That right there, a percussion conversation.
Yeah.
With Dee Dee Bridgewater scatting and Terry Lynn Carrington drumming and you tapping. What is that about? How do you put together a percussion conversation with a scatter, a drummer, and a tapper?
Well, first of all, Dee Dee Bridgewater is much more than
a
scatter.
I get that.
What she's doing
she is doing it for that.
Much more than scatting. I mean, again, that's a convenient word
yes.
to use
Vocals.
to describe her contribution to what it is we live in. But let's address that first. But secondly, man, again, it's an ongoing conversation. It's an ongoing display of communication. It's a conversation on display.
It's improvisation too, right?
Mostly so, yes. Mostly improvisational. And, you know, again, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't like, you know, much rehearsal. So it's like tonight I'm trying to avoid some rehearsals like that she's got us into us. You know, because you can't rehearse now. You can't rehearse what's gonna happen now. You can think about it and do all this stuff, but it's like what we create is like a phrase like a percussion discussion. It's just a continuation of, hey, you got an idea, I got an idea. My idea ain't working right now. Oh, I know a route. Oh, you got some gas? Oh, we need to go over here to get gas. Well, that one's not gonna work. Well, maybe we need to go back. I got a plan.
So the tap dancing and the vocals and the drum all playing off each other.
Yeah, everybody's doing this, but we all know where we want to go. We know what we want to achieve, but the journey is what you get to experience as a performance.
Well, you know what? It's truly a treat to have Savion Glover in Detroit.
Yeah.
Percussion discussion.
Happy to be here.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Please, thank you.